there's something about design and architecture and the amount of noise the crowd makes. And it happened again tonight. This is not the first time. The occasional address tonight is to be delivered by Vince Squillace, an alumnus. Vince is the director of Squillace Architects in Surrey Hills and runs a team of 20 architects and interior designers on a variety of projects, including single and multi-unit residential, commercial, hospitality, interiors, and adaptive reuse. Vince graduated from this university in 1993 with a Bachelor of Architecture with honours. He then spent 2 years as a full-time tutor at the UNSW School of Architecture, documenting and supervising the construction of the Solar Research Centre in Little Bay, which was built by students from the UNSW School of Architecture. Together with 3 other final year students, this was his final design studio project. In 1995, Vince entered into private practice near his home on the Northern Beaches, working on small residential and hospitality projects. The practice grew both in staff numbers and project profile, and in 2001, Vince decided to move to East Sydney, which I think is the epicentre of architecture in Sydney, as it was considered a more central location and suited the diverse profile. Over the last 20 years, Squillace Architects have had offices in Melbourne and have been awarded multiple local and international awards. The studio embraces the challenges of each project, delivering design-driven responses that balance sustainability, heritage, social significance and commercial realities. Collaboration and recognition of diversity, equality and well-being are an integral part of how the team functions. Squillace Architects have recently moved into a former church on Albion Street in Surrey Hills, which, together with the neighbouring former presbytery, have been adaptively repurposed as a small boutique commercial and hospitality precinct. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Vince Squillace.
Presiding Member, Deputy Chancellor Mr Warwick Negus, Dean Professor Claire Annesley, distinguished guests, graduating students and families. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge the Bejugal clan of the Eora Nation as the first people on the land on which we meet today and pay respects to their ancestors and descendants. I'm honoured and humbled to be invited back to the university that provided me with a rich education in architecture and to be given this opportunity to address you today. Congratulations, you made it. You've graduated from a challenging course and the next phase of your journey begins. A journey that consists of many paths, opportunities, education and enlightenment. You should all be very proud of your achievements. I'd like to briefly share with you my professional and personal journey and provide you with some advice that I have to offer after 28 years, almost to the day, that I was sitting where you are. I studied architecture at the University of New South Wales and graduated in 1993. I have fond memories of my time here. I've made lifelong friends with many students and tutors. Even prior to commencing my degree, I had a deep passion for building. During my time at the university, I developed my perspective, which I still hold today, on the fundamental relationship between design, technology and construction. And I still have a firm belief to this day that education should incorporate some construction experience for students. The highlight of my time, as already mentioned, was undoubtedly being afforded the opportunity to design a special project for my final studio that could be built by architecture students with our tutor at the time, Alan Ogg, and 3 other students. We designed the Solar Research Centre. After much lobbying with the university and sponsorships, we were able to convince everyone that it could be built by students and spent the next 4 semesters building this building, which eventually won an RIAA Environmental Award. In 1995, on the back of a number of projects, small at the time, I decided to go into private practice and open an office near my home in the Northern Beaches. A risky move at the time, but one that set me on the path that I've undertaken. I was fortunate to be married in 1996 and have been blessed with a very special partner and 3 amazing children. We are a very close family and most importantly have a deep friendship with each other. The relationship has fostered an environment that has helped me maintain a very healthy work-life balance and one of the main factors that has contributed to my professional development. The studio grew in 2002 when we moved to East Sydney, which is the epicentre, as already mentioned. Our projects at that time were primarily private residential, low, medium density and hospitality design projects. From the outset, we've always pushed the environmental and sustainable initiative and continue to do so, as I strongly feel that we, including you now, as a profession, have a moral obligation to this planet and to our future generations. In 2008, we were invited to compete for the design of a high-rise residential tower in Melbourne. I remember thinking to myself at the time, sure, no problem, just a few more levels than what I've been doing, I guess. It wasn't that simple. We won the competition, opened an office in Melbourne, and it wasn't that easy to design a 52-storey building, but we backed the ability to ride the learning curve and we got there. The building is built above a podium of 8-storey, 60-metre long vertical garden, and it's won 2 international design awards. A lifelong dream of moving our family to Rome for 6 months became a reality in 2013. At the time, I felt mentally exhausted, and although the studio had many projects at various stages, I took the biggest risk of my career and left for 6 months with my family. I did a small amount of work overseas, just generally overseeing the studio and managing my client. I guess you could call it work from Rome. I really needed this break at the time. Focusing on my family and this life experience was a timely reset in many ways. This period further reinforced the importance of work-life balance, which is something I really want to emphasise to everyone, and the strong connection between physical and mental well-being. I returned reinvigorated with a renewed passion for my profession. In 2016, we undertook a major adaptive reuse project to convert a heritage-listed former church and presbytery in Surrey Hills for use as a commercial office and design precinct, and we moved into the church in 2018. The experience of restoring this important heritage building is equally matched with the experience of working in this amazing space. The micro precinct is now complete, with 6 design and fintech offices surrounding a restaurant in the centre of the building, the lower glass atrium. I continually reflect on the work we produce and always strive to be better, to contribute to the community, be considerate of and to the environment, and to incorporate wellness, mindfulness and equality in the workplace and in our projects, as well as delivering a product that we've been commissioned to design. Our creative process is informed by all of these factors as we strive to deliver unique and sustainable solutions that are viable and fundamentally buildable. I increasingly see the importance of continual personal and professional development and education. Fortunately, that's enough about me. You must all be feeling a combination of excitement, relief, and maybe slight anxiety as many of you commence your professional journey. Your education has been broad and there are many paths ahead. These are diverse and they often converge. The paths are not linear, they are 3-dimensional. They're often complex to navigate. You can and will change paths as you develop and refine your goals. Many of you will not head down the path of private practice as I did. You may work for and eventually be part of the management of a large firm. You may head towards policy or perhaps urban design, heritage, government, academia, writing and publishing, or even the very important role of being an educator and nurturing our future colleagues. Whatever the case may be, you have been given the tools that can be applied broadly so that you can enjoy and excel in your chosen path. As you enter this next phase, I would like to take this opportunity to offer some advice and share with you some of the values and lessons learned that have assisted me on my journey. In no particular order necessarily. Strive to do your best, both professionally and personally. Maintain a healthy work-life balance. Physical and mental health is vital, and to a large extent, the two are intertwined. Perseverance and grit to find a way, a solution, creative inspiration, despite adversity or being told that there is no way. Personally, this has served me extremely well in my journey, and in my opinion, it's given our studio an edge over our competitors. Family and friends. I can't emphasise the importance of family and friends and to have these close relationships. Honesty and integrity with others and with yourself. Don't take things personally. Understand alternate perspectives, as there is rarely only ever one point of view. Have courage and confidence, but be humble, flexible and adaptable. Learn from failure, which should not be feared. Rather, it should inform your future decision-making processes in order to succeed. Teamwork. Our discipline in particular involves much collaboration, and being an active team member leads to holistic outcomes. In closing, I wish all of you the very best, and I hope that your personal professional journey provides you with the same happiness and satisfaction that I have experienced. And it's pretty busy out there, by the way. Finally, I'd like to once again thank Presiding Member Deputy Chancellor Mr Warwick Negus and Dean Professor Claire Annesley for giving me the honour of addressing this ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. Graduation ceremonies give us the opportunity to hear the wisdom of an eminent member of society. And there were a couple of themes here that Vince mentioned that are unusually architectural, but also in life generally. Working hard and taking into account the environment and sustainability are obviously things that you know about already. But some of the other things that Vince mentioned about strive for your best, work-life balance. I would have liked a year off in Rome as well. Perseverance, inspiration, honesty, be flexible and adaptable, and be good in a team. You don't have to be an architect to have those qualities, but if you have those qualities, you will be a good architect. On behalf of all assembled today, I express the University's appreciation for your contribution to this, our most important of ceremonies. I ask you to join me again in expressing our appreciation to Vince Squillace.